Sparkling water lovers have really only ever had two options: carbonate water at home with a big machine, or buy bottled or canned carbonated water if you want yours to go. But this water bottle changes everything. Meet Aerflo, a portable water carbonating bottle that gives you sparkling water anywhere with no batteries, no power, and no giant carbon dioxide tanks needed.
I'm Erin, and in this review I'm going to try out this Carbonator bottle for myself to see what it's like to use, what the water tastes like, how it works, and what it's good for. I'll wrap things up with both the pros and the cons of this bottle so you can see if it might be right for you. I would like to say a thank you to Aerflo for sending me a starter kit at no charge. Though the company did provide me with a sample unit, it didn't ask for and wasn't given permission to have any input into my review, so these thoughts are all my own.
Let's start by taking a look at what this machine is and what it can do. Aerflo is a stainless steel and plastic water bottle with a lid and carrying strap. While it looks a lot like your average water bottle, this one hides a secret in the lid. It's shaped like a torpedo, and inside the cap is a small carbon dioxide cartridge. When you attach the lid to the bottle and tighten it, then press the hidden button on top, it releases carbon dioxide into the bottle and carbonates your water. I received a starter kit from the company, which includes one bottle, 18 Carbonator cartridges, and a portable silicone case for transporting those extra cartridges. Before you can make your first bottle of water, you will need to install a carbon dioxide cartridge, and this is pretty easy. Just unscrew the cap from the bottom of the lid, then slip one of the blue torpedoes into the cylinder, narrow end first, and put the lid back on. In terms of the actual setup, that's it. Carbonating your water is just as easy. Let's take a closer look at that. Fill the bottle with water to the fill line, then screw the lid on. Tap the button on top until you hear kind of a venting or a squealing sound. You can tap it from 1 to 4 times, then shake the bottle up a little bit to mix in the bubbles, and it's ready. If you want to preserve the carbonation after you've opened it and had a sip, you can tap the button to repressurize things. So how much carbonation can you get in your water? Depending how many times you touch the button on the lid to inject the gas, you can lightly carbonate or have something that's much more sparkling.
The most common question I get asked about a device like this is, what does the water taste like? Now, for the most part, how your water tastes is going to have to do with whether you use filtered or tap water and what your water tastes like on its own in the first place. I do use filtered water whenever I can. I'd say the water here tastes very similar to other sparkling water methods I've used. I'm going to give it a try here, and you can hear that it's freshly carbonated. To me, it tastes very similar to something like a Perrier or an Evian, commercial sparkling water, kind of like that. It also to me doesn't taste that different from something that's been carbonated with a soda stream, for example.
In case you're wondering, the maximum temperature of the water is 104 Fahrenheit or 40 Celsius, and the minimum is 34 Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius. Aerflo also says you can add ice to the bottle and still carbonate your water, although the company thinks it might interfere a bit with the carbonation process. I tried it and found that it seemed to carbonate the water just fine.
You're probably wondering if you could potentially sparkle other beverages like coffee or tea in here. Aerflo recommends you only carbonate plain water. If you would like to flavor your sparkling water, you should add it after, says the company, and you also need to thoroughly wash the carbonator lid and the bottle if it does come into contact with anything other than plain water.
I did use the device to sparkle some tea, and it does work for that even if the company doesn't recommend it. But if you do plan on sparkling things other than water, more often than not, you'll want to look up my review of what's called the Sparkle beverage system.
So how long does the water stay bubbly? I'm pretty sure the best practice for this bottle would be to only carbonate the water when you're ready to drink it. But I was wondering how long the carbonation will last in the bottle before I get to it.
I gave it 3 shots of carbon dioxide and left it overnight. When I opened it the next morning, I found it was still fully carbonated. The system actually works really well overall, and it's highly portable. Where I think people might be concerned with something like this is with the need for those carbon dioxide capsules and how long they last. Each refillable capsule will make 2 liters of sparkling water, or 4 500 milliliter bottles full. Now, that's not a lot, and if you were sparkling a couple bottles of water every day, you'll be going through these cartridges pretty quickly.
Now, that's not a lot, and if you were sparkling a couple of bottles of water every day, you're going to be going through these cartridges pretty quickly. Let's talk about what these cost and what you're supposed to do with the empty ones. First, to the price. 12 new capsules costs about $23.50 US, or about $2 each. Put differently, it's going to cost you about 50 cents to carbonate every bottle of water. Now, while there is that ongoing cost, it is probably still cheaper than paying for a large bottle of sparkling water from a store. Now, Aerflo will also recycle your old cartridges, but that happens only if you live in the USA.
On each box of cartridges, there's a return label already in place, so all you need to do is box up the empty ones, tape it up, and drop it at your nearest UPS depot. Overall, I have to say this is a gadget I didn't really know I needed. I've had an awesome experience with the Aerflo bottle and have been taking it with me everywhere.
Let's go over both the pros and the cons so you can see if this bottle might be right for you.
On the pro side, this portable bottle is so convenient for sparkling water lovers. The bottle is compact enough to fit in a bag or a backpack, yet it still gives you half a liter or 16 ounces of water. The construction feels durable, and I quite like that it comes with a carrying strap. The setup process takes seconds, and carbonating your water is fast and easy and quite effective depending on how much carbon dioxide you release into the bottle. I like the fact my kit came with a case for extra gas cartridges too. I'm also glad to report the company recycles its own cartridges using a prepaid UPS label, at least for Americans. So what are the potential downsides? I think people will find the biggest hurdle to be the short duration that each cartridge lasts. Each one will only carbonate about 3 or 4 bottles of water depending on how much carbonation you like, so both the extra cartridges and their cost can quickly add up. There's also no option for us Canadians to conveniently recycle the cartridges, and in fact, if you don't have a partner that will do that recycling, these actually need to go in your municipal hazardous waste disposal. At least that's the only option for me here in Calgary.
In short, I think anyone who counts themselves as a sparkling water fan who would like to have more options for on the go would really love this bottle, and I actually think it would be a really super gift idea for someone like that. I have become a fan, so I can definitely recommend Aerflo for you. The starter kit with bottle and travel case plus 18 cartridges costs about $74 US, and you can get it from aerflo.co, and that's AERFLO. If you are a sparkling water fan like I am, you might be interested in some other less portable but still very effective devices. If you want to sparkle things other than water, you should check out my full review of the Sparkle beverage system, or check out my review of a SodaStream right now.